I was raised in church. My mother, Betsy King, was a Methodist minister for the majority of my adolescence. So I had a close relationship with God. I had an intimate relationship with God. It wasn't until I was in college and I started partying that I thought, the traditional, ritualistic, stagnant, type of church just wasn't the fit for me. And when I was rebelling in college and I was going through the back and forth of, I know what's expected of me, and I know the call that God has placed on my life, and I know the disappointment that my mom would have, there are a lot of days that I felt really guilty, and I would always try to do the right thing, and I'd always pray for forgiveness. And the relationships that I was in, the lifestyle that I lived, it kept pulling me back. I kept trying to be the best that I could possibly be spiritually. But it was hard when the people around me weren't their best spiritually as well.
I didn't grow up in church. I would go every now and then, maybe for Easter or for Christmas. When I was 16, though, I had dreams of racing professional motocross and had a pretty bad motorcycle wreck and came off the bike in the air and landed feet first into the back of a jump. Broke my tibia and fibula in both legs. My right leg was just shattered. I didn't walk for about a total of 2 years, and about a year and a half in, the doctors told me that they needed to amputate, and I ended up getting sick very bad because of the infection. I was so sick at one point, and I had a fever of like 106 degrees, and all of a sudden it just almost became peaceful, and I thought that I was gonna die. I thought that was it. I was able to recover though, and took about 12 surgeries and 2 years of healing to be able to walk again. But I was able to rejoin high school at about halfway through my junior year, and I felt like I'd missed so much by missing all of my teenage years really, and I kind of went to the party lifestyle, and I was partying pretty much all until I met McKenzie, and she told me pretty much straight up that there was no more partying if we were going to be together. And
I told him he was a rock star. He partied a lot, and I was starting my career as a teacher, and I knew that couldn't be a part of my lifestyle. And I didn't want that in a husband, and I didn't want that for my family that I would have in the future. I wanted my husband to help me to be a better Christian. And we tried Cultivate, and Jamie just fell in love. He fell in love with the way that church felt. He fell in love with the people that loved people. He fell in love with the love that people had for God. And he would come home and he would have new worship songs that he wanted me to listen to. And it was at that moment that part of my list that I had made for God, I put a check beside.
the Lord can change your life dramatically. He can turn it all around, no matter what you've been through, where you've been, how old you are, what part of life you're in. It can all turn around if you'll accept the Lord.
No matter the darkest places that you have been in your life, God still loves you. He still has his arms waiting for you. You just have to take the first step towards him.
I'm so in love with God, and I'm so in love with our church.